Hello and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Joint. I am Joey J. Ping, and this is the Respect My Region podcast network. Today, we've got a very special episode breaking down all things sports, music, cannabis, and trending news in the world today. I'm really excited to be bringing back the Morning Joint podcast. I know we're hundreds of episodes deep, but this is the first one we've done in a little over a year, and so bear with me, folks, as we bring this back. I'm super excited to be here with you today. If you're just waking up, today is one of those mornings where everything moved at once, folks. In the NFL, it's Black Monday, aka the day where coaches that may or may not have had a bad season in the NFL get let go. Overnight, the Las Vegas Raiders, hit reset, firing their head coach, Pete Carroll, and among other things going on across the National Football League. The NFL is deep into the Black Monday chaos, a variety of other teams. I know the Browns got rid of their coach. The Falcons did their thing. It's been tough. In addition to the NFL, we're going to talk a little bit about the NBA today. The NBA is heating up on the court and off of it. We've got some major news coming up with the NBA All-Star Weekend hitting Los Angeles next month. This will be one of the biggest NBA All-Star Weekends, if not the biggest one the NBA has ever produced. It's taking place at the Intuit Dome, which is the Clippers' new stadium, literally 10 minutes away from where I'm currently filming this episode at. We are at the Catalyst Hawthorne Dispensary and Consumption Lounge. Big shout out to their entire team for having us here. Los Angeles is making moves, folks. Los Angeles is making moves. In addition to the NBA All-Star Weekend next month, we also have the FIFA World Cup coming up soon. It's no longer theoretical. The cities are already preparing. Seattle's been catching heat from Trump and their administration. LA, it's already, we'll call it sprucing things up here to prepare for the World Cup takeover, the different venues that LA is going to be using to host the World Cup. It's going to be an exciting time. We're going to break that down and talk a little bit about that today. And in cannabis, folks, we've got some other major news. If you are a cannabis lover, if you're a customer, if you're in the industry, there are some major regulation updates going on in the world of hemp, THCA, in the world of rescheduling and cannabis products, all the stuff. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We've also got some major trade show updates from Hall of Flowers and Revelry in New York. There's some really cool things going on in the first 6 months of 2026, and we're not skimming headlines today, folks. We're going to be breaking it down story by story with some context you can actually use. Today is the January 5th, 2026. I'm Joey J. Ping, and this is the Morning Joint. Let's dive right in, shall we? Let's begin in Vegas, folks. The Las Vegas Raiders fired head coach Pete Carroll following a 3-14 season, ending a tenure that never found stability. This wasn't reactionary. According to reporting from Nationalist, the decision was made quickly after the regular season ended. The offense never found consistency. The quarterback situation remained unresolved. Geno Smith, Kenny Pickett, and the late season defensive regression really sealed it for Pete Carroll. I'm a Pete Carroll fan. I really believed in the energy. When you look around the locker room, just from a fan's perspective, it looked like players were not buying in because they just weren't winning games. I wouldn't blame it on the coach. You could arguably blame it on Chip Kelly, but it comes down from the top. The line didn't perform well this year. I've covered it numerous times on the website. Quarterback led the league in interceptions. We arguably led the league in giving up sacks. The defense, although we got the win against backups against the Chiefs, we gave up. We just played terrible most of the year, and because of how Week 18 played out, folks, the Raiders got the win over the Chiefs yesterday. The Giants got the win over Dallas. The Raiders do officially hold the number 1 overall pick in the 2026 NFL draft. This is the first time the Raiders have had the first overall pick since 2007, and where they drafted Jamarcus Russell. In classic form, the number 1 pick is a very, very powerful draft position. It gives you a team quite a bit of leverage to pick first. It really, really gets the wheels turning, though, about who are they going to pick? When you think about college football today, when you think about the athletes, the coaching, the NIL deals, and all this stuff, and you honestly get a lot of mock drafts and these analysts and journalists talking about it. And something that I've noticed that really stands out is how they say that the quarterbacks in today's college football game, they're just not as far along as quarterbacks of the past. Now, they might be farther along athletically, they might be stronger, faster. Maybe their statistics are a little bit crazier or more impressive. But the reality is when you talk to and you watch interview after interview with different coaches around the NFL and you listen and read between the lines, a lot of them say that these quarterbacks are coming in underdeveloped. They're coming in undercoached. They're not as far along. They don't necessarily understand the playbooks and the schemes and the defensive coverages as well. Now, a lot of that is normal for a rookie or a first, second, third, fourth year player. But when you're talking about first round draft picks and the top tier talent in the NCAA on the college football environment, the coaching historically, they're just saying it's just not where it used to be with the quarterbacks. They're not getting as much time and practice and reps or whatever it is. Now, early mock drafts and analyst discussions are already centering on quarterbacks like Fernando Mendoza out of Indiana and Dante Moore as potential top selections. Mendoza boosted his stocks with strong postseason performance. We just saw Indiana spank Alabama. Now, this isn't the Alabama teams with Nick Saban, but the reality is that all the college football coaches that are in the playoffs, they're literally all former Nick Saban assistant coaches, including the Indiana head coach. And so it's just crazy to see Nick Saban's impact on assistants, the recruiting talent for those different teams, and how that plays out. Now, Mendoza, he did boost his stock. He spanked Alabama. I just said that. He showed arm strength, mobility, composure. I mean, it really wasn't a tight game, so it wasn't a high-pressure situation. But ultimately, he performed at a very high level, and Raiders fans and Raider Nation alike are both excited as a potential first-round draft pick, number one draft pick overall. Dante Moore brings elite upside, but comes with developmental question. This goes back to, is he more of an athlete or is he more of a true NFL-ready quarterback? There's that classic phrase, pocket passer, great pocket presence. Oh, look at the footwork. Is he more of a Peyton Manning or is he going to be more on the run? Is it going to be more of a Michael Vick or a Lamar Jackson? Is he going to be more of a Josh Allen? There's so many different quarterback examples over the last 5, 10, 20 years. Is he a Patty Mahomes? Is he more of the Chargers, Herbert, with the cannon and being able to run around? It's tough. So the question becomes this. Do the Raiders take a quarterback at number one and restart the clock? Do they trade down, collect picks, get a bunch of linemen, and rebuild from there? For me personally, I cannot believe they got rid of Pete Carroll. But what does that signal? That they're also going to get rid of Geno Smith. Pete Carroll was the Geno Smith champion. When you lead the league in interceptions and you take picks and you just are getting smacked around and you're 35, turning 36 years old, that's not the future that the Raiders are signing up for. And I know with Tom Brady actively getting more involved, we saw the letter posted today by Raiders owner Mark Davis. Tom Brady being more involved and then getting rid of Pete Carroll, it's going to signal an end of an era for Geno Smith as well. Fernando Mendoza, I don't want another rookie quarterback, man. I'm tired of these busts and I'm tired of waiting 2 or 3 years. I honestly would rather, it's going to sound crazy, I would rather us pick up Jameis Winston or one of these other quarterbacks that have proven to be a really strong backup. Don't overpay him and get a bunch of linemen to come in and protect. Free agent linemen, free agent a wide receiver, free agent some linemen, free agent some wide receiver. But I just wouldn't draft a quarterback. I would trade down and let somebody else get that. Drake May only performs and Bo Nix only performs well because they have decent lines, and that's just where it is. The reality, though, folks, is the AFC is really unforgiving. You got Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. You've got Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Whether these teams are having great season right now or not, it's besides the point. They are tough. They are strong, difficult teams. The Patriots are back in action. You've got the Broncos and the Chargers both at 11-3 and 13-3 or something along those lines. And you've got the Chiefs, which Still, Patrick Mahomes and their defense still really does their thing, folks. And so you just can't. Josh Allen and the Buffalo, you have the best quarterbacks in the AFC. If you miss on a quarterback, you're going to get buried. Like it's just going to keep being the Raiders at the bottom of the AFC West. So this pick is not about hype. It's about patience. It's about executing the timeline. And if with us firing Carroll, with us most likely getting rid of Geno, having the number one pick, there's a lot of risk involved. We could get buried further and further down the line. With Tom Brady now involved as a minority, there's growing belief that this reset could prioritize long-term structure over short-term noise. Man, I wanted to keep Pete Carroll around. Man, I wanted them to release or trade Geno. I wanted them to take this number one pick, trade down to the middle, get two offensive linemen, free agent sign a quarterback, a free agent sign a receiver, bring in another linebacker, bring in a couple defensive tackles, maybe another cornerback or two. I mean, this is a rebuilding year, but you didn't have to throw a grenade in the locker room and do that. It's just so frustrating. But guess what, folks? I'm a Raiders fan. You all see it. You all know the deal. The Raiders were not alone. Across the league today, Black Monday, lived up to the name in full force. The Browns fired Kevin Stefanski after continued inconsistency. You guys remember how they had a play to win the game, and they literally took out Shador Sanders, who was balling for more or less, and they tried running some kind of receiver reverse sweep thing, and they ended up not getting the handoff right and throwing a shitty pass for an incomplete to literally lose the game. It's those kinds of coaching decisions that cost you your job. And the Browns mismanaged Shador Sanders. They've mismanaged Deshaun Watson. They've mismanaged Baker Mayfield. They've mismanaged Jameis Winston. They've mismanaged whoever Dylan Gabriel is, that guy from Oregon. They've mismanaged all of them. But they did have Myles Garrett break the all-time single-season sack record. He got, I want to say, 23 total sacks this year. And then the last one coming against Joe Burrow and the Bengals. So big congratulations to Myles Garrett. He is the best defensive end in the NFL. 23 sacks, all-time record. Big shout out to Kevin Stefanski getting his ass fired too. The Falcons also moved on from Raheem Morris and their general manager, signaling a full organizational reset. Behind closed doors, multiple franchises are also evaluating whether one more year actually makes sense. Some of the teams on the hot seat, typically some of the worst, not so good teams. You got the Giants. You've got it's so funny seeing people try to come after Mike Tomlin after all these years. But the reality is that Aaron Rodgers had a much better season than we all anticipated. It's not like we thought he was going to have a bad year. We just didn't know what we could get, all the variables, the factors that go into it. Just honestly led to a lot of risk. But he ended up doing well this season. The league is done protecting legacy, folks. This is a win now. What have you done for me lately kind of situation. That's always been the case, but it's getting more and more blatant. Ownership groups are asking, are we moving forward? Are we improving? Are things getting better on the day-to-day? Or are we stuck? Because bad news equals fan behavior changing. And if the answer is stuck, these owners are pulling the plug and they're going to switch it. And to me, I think that goes into part of the reason why the quality of the athlete, the quality of the quarterback, maybe some of these players, they're just not getting the attention or the practice, the reps. Maybe they're not as far along to some of these coaches as they might think. And it just comes down to time. They're not getting as much time, as many reps, as much opportunity. It's a go, go, go kind of world. Now, zooming out, folks, the NFL, we're still talking about it. Here's the bigger picture right now. We're getting into the playoffs. There's no universal Super Bowl favorite. There's no team that's 14-1, 15-1, 13-0. There was nothing like that. The best teams lost earlier in the season or lost a couple weeks ago, and they're starting to really hit their stride. Some of the things that we've seen, the injuries just continue to reshape the contenders. A couple weeks, you might have a team do well. A couple weeks later, that same team could be on a 2, 3, or 4 game skid, and that's really been what's happening. Inconsistent quarterback play, tight playoff races late. I mean, the reality, guys, is that the quarterbacks lead the team, and the coaches lead the team, and they've got to be consistent together. And we're just not seeing these athletes, these leaders, do what they need to do across the board. Some of the best leaders and the best athletes in the NFL the last few years, Lamar Jackson, Patty Mahomes, we're just seeing their teams kind of struggle a little bit. It's interesting to see how tight the playoff races are this late, and to see the teams that are already out of it. I mean, we've just got a really interesting playoff scenario this year. The Seahawks, the Patriots, the Broncos. You've got the Chargers still in it. You've got what did I see? Just a really interesting selection. I think the Jaguars are still in. Just a really interesting selection of teams. And these are some of the unexpected groups that are making runs. Be sure to keep an eye out on this. The playoffs is going to be a fun year. It's going to be a fun playoff season for us, if you would. And then before we get out of the NFL talk, folks, this is Travis Kelce potentially played his last game. We're most of us are of the belief that he's going to retire. It was not the season that he wanted to have in terms of productivity and Super Bowl runs and playoffs. I mean, the Chiefs missed the playoffs, but the reality, though, is that Travis Kelce this week surpassed 13,000 career receiving yards, placing him among the most productive tight ends in NFL history. He's already number one in a number of categories in terms of like postseason and catches and things like that. But ultimately, it's been a year for Travis Kelce. Proposed to Taylor Swift, getting married to Taylor Swift here soon. The 13,000 career receiving yards, his consistency, him can still continue to be a go-to option for Patrick Mahomes. It was just fun to watch, and I have a lot of respect for Travis Kelce. My hat goes off to you and your career, Travis, and I look forward to hopefully competing against you via the Raiders next season. But I also can't wait for you to be done so we have a better chance of winning. So big shout out to Travis Kelce, and thank you for what you've done in the NFL. It's been exciting to watch. Now, folks, the morning joint continues. All right. NBA. We are post Emirates, the Emirates Cup. That was an exciting tournament and competition. I love watching the NBA stay competitive earlier in the season. But folks, it's 2026. What happened in 2025? That's history. Tonight kicks off the first full NBA week of 2026 with matchups that matter for seeding and momentum. Starting off, we've got the Warriors versus the Clippers, 76ers versus the Nuggets, and the Knicks versus the Pistons. Now, the Clippers are on a little bit of a hot streak. I went to a game on Thursday, New Year's. It was exciting to watch them beat the Jazz. It was cool to watch Kawhi Leonard and the team roughly struggle for three quarters, but then with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Kawhi hit 4 straight three-pointers, 2 of them, I believe, step backs. And he just drilled them in their faces, and the next thing you know, they're up 13, 14, 15 points. And so that was super cool. Warriors, though, Steph Curry still doing his thing. Do they have enough to get a deep run in the playoffs, compete against the likes of Jokic and the Nuggets and the Lakers and all these other teams that have some bigs, and the Warriors are playing small ball? Do they have enough? 76ers, Tyrese Maxey's still doing his thing. Joel Embiid recently hurt again. The Nuggets probably smacking them. Jokic on Christmas Day had a 56-point triple-double. I want to say 15 assists, 15 boards. I'm going to go out and say Jokic is the best center of all time. You could say what you want about Shaq dominating him, but the reality is that a triple-double and your team winning is gonna be a better situation, in my opinion, than, I mean, there's no doubt that Shaq is the most dominant big man of all time. But Jokic, 56, 15, and 15, it would be interesting to watch Jokic versus Shaq, prime versus prime. Now, at the same time, you got the Knicks versus the Pistons. The Knicks are one of the better teams in the NBA. The Pistons are another great team in the NBA. They're both going to be in the playoffs this year if everything continues to go the way it's been going, smooth, consistent. Jalen Brunson putting up a lot of points. Cade Cunningham and the Pistons balling out. Good ball movement, good defense. It's an exciting time to watch the NBA right now because there's this new generation of talent that is actually taking over. It's this weird blend of like the Jalen Brunsons and the Cade Cunninghams, replacing the Joel Embiids and the Steph Currys and the LeBrons, even Kawhi and Harden. Those cats are old. Jokic is still, I think he's in his 10th or 11th season, so he's getting up there. We're really only going to get 4, maybe 5 more seasons of Jokic. We got to appreciate what we got. Now, All-Star Weekend is coming up, which means the trade deadline is also approaching. Michael Porter Jr. is one of the names circulating ahead of the February deadline. Michael Porter Jr. is the tall kid he used to. I'm pretty sure Porter Jr. came from Washington State, not university, but like the core ecosystem of Washington basketball. And he won a championship or two with the Nuggets. He was a starter there. He's like 6'10". Was recently in the news for saying as a podcast that he could beat pretty much all the NCAA girls and also WNBA players. I could be misquoting him. But since he was in middle school, because he was like 6'8", 6'10" in middle school and in high school, and just absolutely insanely athletic, balling out. He's putting up over 20 something points a game now. They're saying he's putting up all-star numbers. It's something like 22, 24, 26 a game. He's putting up some solid boards. He's hitting threes. His shooting's improved. It was interesting because with the Nuggets, he was such a streaky shooter, and there was days where it just felt like he wasn't involved mentally or he wasn't engaged mentally. And like his teammates had to do whatever they could to get him involved, and that kind of would hurt the offense. It's how it seemed. It's how it felt. Now all of a sudden he's on the Nets and he's balling out. Is it the vibe? Is it the energy? Does he care more? Is it a better team? Is it a different energy? Maybe it's because he's not a mile high up and he can breathe better. I don't know. But he's been hooping. He's been balling out, and he's definitely one of the top options for the NBA trade deadline coming up, especially with All-Star Weekend coming up here as well. And it's looking like he's going to be an NBA All-Star. I don't know, probably for the first time just based on his performance, but we'll see. That's a whole voting thing. Now, as we continue, and I just touched on NBA All-Star Weekend, the 2026 edition, folks, of NBA All-Star Weekend is actually taking place February 13th through February 15th in Los Angeles, California. It's actually going to be at the Intuit Dome, the Clippers Arena, the new stadium, over in Inglewood, which is about 10 minutes away from where we're located here at the Catalyst Dispensary and Consumption Lounge here in Hawthorne, California. This is the 75th NBA All-Star Game, and the league is treating it like a global milestone. Although we've had a drop-off in overall views, watchers, viewers, visibility, whatever it is you want to say it, for the All-Star Game the last few years here with the NBA, the reality, though, is that the global NBA continues to grow. There are more fans globally, more fans internationally, more players from international teams and environments than there ever has been before. And because of that, the NBA is doubling down. Friday night features the Rising Stars Challenge, highlighting first and second year players. This is pretty normal. This is going to be your rookies versus your sophomores. There's some really strong rookies out there. There's some really strong sophomores out there. I'm excited to see these players come in, do their thing, work hard, and ultimately just try to prove themselves against other top-tier talent. A first-year player playing against a second-year player is exciting, and these are all very much rising stars, and so it'll be exciting to see who decides to really cook all the other people and put that energy out there. There's a heavy emphasis on international talent, also particularly with the rising stars. So you guys are going to want to pay attention to that. Pay attention to your favorite players from Europe and Asia and Africa and all these different places. It's an exciting time. Canada has great talent, so on and so forth. Across Los Angeles, there are media days, celebrity events, as well as brand activations. My recommendation for you guys is to look at respectmyregion.com. We've got an article up with some of the details already posted about what's going on All-Star Weekend. And, of course, you can just Google NBA All-Star Weekend 2026, and you can go on Eventbrite or just go on Google and scroll around and click until you find some things going on across Los Angeles. Here at the Catalyst Consumption Lounge, where I'm at right now, we are going to be having events Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to support All-Star Weekend. So if you guys want to hang out, have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can email me directly at joey@respectmyregion.com, or you can DM me on Instagram, Joey period JAYPING. That's Joey period J Ping, JAY Ping. Now that's Friday, folks, February 13th. February 14th is Valentine's Day, And that's going to include the Kia Skills Challenge, the Starry Three-Point Contest, and the AT&T Slam Dunk Contest. This is the most social media-driven night of the weekend. There's going to be sneaker debuts, other viral moments, and a lot of celebrities in attendance for each of those events. The Skills Challenge, the Three-Point Contest, and the Slam Dunk Contest. Now, I really don't care about the skills challenge. It's not that these guys don't have skills. I just don't care to see them run around for less than 45 seconds, bounce a ball through, do a bounce pass through something, do a chest pass through something. And I also don't particularly care about like running and doing a layup and breaking a three. The skills challenge is so boring. It's so boring that needs to be improved immediately. The 3-point contest is exciting, except we never have any of the best players shooting threes. I want to see LeBron. I want to see Steph Curry. We want to see other stars shoot threes, not these no-name players, these no-name brands at the end of the day. Now, I'm all for giving the rising stars, the rising athletes, the place to play. That would be great. But I don't know that sitting here watching the 3-point contest with no-name athletes against each other is the best way to do it. We want to see stars. Get a sponsor, spend the bag, bring Caitlin Clark, bring Sabrina Ionescu, get actual people to shoot threes that we want to see compete, and spend the bag to do it. And then reciprocate it into the WNBA by supporting them with our big branded athletes, aka the NBA athletes, the LeBrons, the Currys, the Kevin Durant. Support the women. Let's do it. Let's stop playing games. This should have been done with Caitlin Clark already. Now, folks, Sunday night is the headline night, okay? The game tips at 5 p.m. Eastern, airing on NBC and Peacock, and introduces a whole new format. This is the USA versus world format, okay? There's going to be 2 United States teams and 1 world team, and it's going to play a tournament, okay? The league's goal is to reignite competitiveness, emphasize these international stars, the Luka Doncic, the Giannis Antetokounmpos of the world, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, he's Canadian, and to position All-Star Weekend as global entertainment. This is the opportunity for all Canadians to watch their favorite Canadians play. This is the opportunity to watch their favorite African and European players play. Not just play, but to be on a team of other top-tier talent and compete against the individuals, the all-stars that are born and raised in the United States. It's amazing. We were so excited to watch them play France and Wembenyama. We were so excited to watch them play against Russia in the past. We were so excited to watch them play against Canada and Spain. And now is that time. Puerto Rico, this is the time. Put your teams together, ball out. We want to see it. All-Star Weekend, USA versus the world tournament format. How exciting for that. Now, folks, we continue on the sports train. Morning Joint Podcast. Today's episode brought to you guys by the Catalyst Consumption Lounge and Dispensary here in Hawthorne, California. Big shout out to our partners. Make sure you guys pull up. If you guys have any questions, feel free to DM me, ask around. But we got the World Cup coming up here soon, folks. The 2026 FIFA World Cup will be the largest in history, featuring 48 teams across the United States, Mexico, and Canada. Los Angeles, Seattle, a variety of other cities are already coordinating transportation, security, fan zone, tourism, restaurants, events. All this stuff is already good. And this is a global takeover, all right? Once soccer really reaches huge scale in the United States, it's not going to retreat. And football, aka soccer, is arguably the most popular sport around the world. So it's really important that you guys get tapped in and attend some of these events, get some of the tickets, and just try to participate. Be a part of history. 48 teams, 104 matches, June 11th to July 19th, 16 North American cities, the final held in New York and New Jersey at MetLife Stadium, and the opening match is in Mexico City at the Estadio Azteca. This expanded tournament introduces a new format with 12 groups, the top 2 from each group, plus 8 best third-place teams advancing to a round of 32 knockout stage. This is a significantly larger event than previous World Cups, all right? It's going to be huge, huge, all right? Now, coming directly from the FIFA site, Let me share this information with you, okay? After the thrilling drama of the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022, Argentina are aiming to become just the third defending champion in history to retain the trophy. Qualification tournaments among the 6 global confederations have almost concluded, with 42 teams having booked their tickets to the eagerly anticipated global showpiece. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Western region: Vancouver, Seattle, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. Central region: Guadalajara, Mexico City, Monterrey, Houston, Dallas, and Kansas City. Eastern region: Atlanta, Miami, Toronto, Boston, Philadelphia, and New York, New Jersey. The full match schedule was announced on Sunday, February 4th, 2024, with New York, New Jersey picked to host the final, and the fabled Mexico City Stadium chosen to stage the tournament's opening match. Group A: Mexico, Russia, Korea, and it says POD. Technical draw results. Group A, we'll read this again. Mexico, South Africa, Korea, Republic, winner playoff D. Group B: Canada, winner playoff A, Qatar, Switzerland. Group C: Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, Scotland. Group D: USA, Paraguay, Australia, and the winner of playoff C. Group E: Germany, Curacao, Cote d'Ivoire, Ecuador. Group F: Netherlands, Japan, the winner of playoff B, Tunisia. Group G: Belgium, Egypt, Iran, New Zealand. Group H: Spain, Cabo Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. Group I: France, Senegal, winner of playoff 2, and Norway. Group J: Argentina, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan. Group K: Portugal, winner of playoff 1, Uzbekistan, and Colombia. Group L, this is the last group: England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. The final draw for World Cup 2026 took place in Washington, D.C. on December 5th at the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, with 12 groups of 4 teams decided. Co-hosts Mexico, Canada, and USA were placed into groups A, B, and D. And there is a lot of information available on the FIFA.com website. So if you guys need any more information, you guys should definitely go check that out. And feel free to pop in and ask any questions here if you need anything. All right. Now, as we continue, I hope you guys are able to get tickets. And this is a great place for me to transition to the cannabis news and updates for our industry. And this is where I'm going to light up, folks. Big shout out to our sponsor on today's flower for this joint, Nameless Genetics and Maven Genetics. Nameless has award-winning indoor-grown flower, and Maven Genetics has award-winning indoor-grown flower too. Both of them based in Los Angeles, both of them known for their own custom genetics. Nameless, OGs, candies, really tasty sativas. Maven Genetics, strains like the French Lotus, Chroma, and some other really, really popular, incredible one. I'm the new money, the old money, the Kings and Queens edition. I got these joints right here, the little goldies. Absolute fire. Now, folks, cannabis news and updates. Let's get it. There has been the biggest news today is the descheduling and the AKA the rescheduling of cannabis, right? Folks, there has been no single nationwide hemp ban enacted overnight. However, according to reporting and regulatory guidance, states are increasing scrutiny of intoxicating hemp-derived products, including Delta-8 and THC flower. Now, there will be changes in the future. There will be more things getting switched up. Regulators are signaling that if it gets consumers high, if it competes directly with licensed cannabis, and if it avoids tax and compliance framework, then enforcement is coming. Even if timelines vary state by state, the states are paying attention to it. They're looking at it. It's a common topic, and they're looking to change things. All right. So there is a lot of details for the hemp THCA update and what's going on. Now, I'm going to read this to you, okay? A recent federal law, the FY 2026 Agricultural Appropriations Law, signed in November 2025. That's not December, over a month ago, about less than 60 days. Updated the regulation of hemp by redefining hemp to include total THC, including THCA, in the calculation, effectively banning most intoxicating hemp products currently on the market. Let me re-say that again. A recent federal law signed in November 2025 to go into effect November 2026 updated the regulation of hemp by redefining hemp to include total THC, including THCA, in the calculation. So if it used to say THC percent less than or equal to 0.03, and then it would say THCA, which is the THC one that's activated by combustion, that could be whatever number, and it would be good to go. Now the THCA is included in the total THCA count. And so if you have a total THCA of, say, 5% or even 1%, that does not fall under the guidelines of less than 0.03. Of 0.3%. I don't know why I'm saying 0.03. That'd be very little. 0.3%. Key details for the THCA update. And again, folks, this is coming from a Google search. A variety of lawyers, a variety of law firms, a variety of publications. This one here as well. Let's see with the link here. Where is this coming from? Yeah, perfect. Okay. The law changes the definition of legal hemp from having a maximum of 0.3% Delta 9 THC to having a maximum of 0.3% total THC on a dry weight basis, which includes THCA. This effectively closes the THC loophole that allowed high THCA cannabis flower, which converts to Delta 9 THC when heated, to be sold as legal hemp. Finished hemp products intended for human or animal consumption will also be subject to a strict limit of 0.4 milligrams of total THC per container. This low limit means that most existing edibles, beverages, and vapes that contain multiple milligrams per serving will become non-compliant. This is called a per container cap. There was also a ban on synthetic cannabinoids. Cannabinoids that are synthesized or manufactured outside the plant, for example, Delta 8, Delta 10, HHC, are explicitly excluded from the definition of hemp, regardless of their concentration. That's major. The new restrictions will go into effect 1 year after the law's enactment on November 12th, 2026. The Food and Drug Administration is required to issue guidance and publish lists of naturally occurring cannabinoids, THC class cannabinoids, and other cannabinoids with similar effects within 90 days of the law's passage. The law was passed in early November, 90 days December, January, February. So by the middle of February, the FDA is required to issue guidance and publish lists of naturally occurring cannabinoids, THC class cannabinoids, and other cannabinoids with similar effects. This is huge. Now, how does this impact the industry and consumers? These changes will likely cause significant disruption, potentially eliminating an estimated 95% of the current U.S. hemp market that relies on intoxicating products. 95% of the products in the industry is going to change. Businesses in the hemp industry are advised to review product formulations, audit supply chains, and prepare for potentially restructuring or transition into state-regulated cannabis markets if feasible. Many existing contracts and business models will need to be reevaluated due to the change in legal status. Consumers in these states without legal adult use weed, without legal adult use recreational cannabis, or legal adult use medical cannabis, these markets will see the biggest impact as their access to intoxicating hemp-derived products will be severely limited or eliminated. I live in California. There are hemp products here. They're not legally allowed to be sold. They can be made here, but they're not legally allowed to be sold here. Tough. While federal law will classify most of these products as illegal marijuana, a Schedule I substance, the actual level of federal enforcement remains uncertain due to resource constraints and a patchwork of state laws. State licensed marijuana businesses, however, are already using the new law to file civil lawsuits against hemp operators. If you're a cannabis business and you're already suing the hemp people, I don't fuck with you. I don't want to feature you, and I'm throwing that out there right now. I don't like that kind of energy. That's not how we come together. If you're beefing and suing people already, and it's a little over a month, absolutely. It doesn't go into it's not even enforceable until next year. The rule isn't until, not next year, November 26th. November of 26. It's not even enforceable until November 5th, November 12th. It's not even enforceable until then. So why are you suing people? It's just absolutely insane. Y'all can't be so selfish. Do your business better. Do marketing better. Get rid of your worst performing salesperson and staff member and do marketing better. Talk to 1,000, 2,000 people a month. Change it up. You're going to sue hemp businesses already. That just kills me. All right, we're going to keep it pushing, folks. Hemp THCA update completed. Now, for the second cannabis story of the day, guys, we've got Hall of Flowers, one of the most influential B2B cannabis trade shows in the world, in the country, coming together, licensed brands, retail buyers, retail operators, brand operators, media, bud tenders like to come. This is where real deals happen. March, Ventura, California. It's not about the hype. It's not about whether the show is continuing to grow in size and scale. You guys need to remember, the buyers in California, the dispensaries, the delivery services, they've all been coming to this for almost a decade. It's 2026. They've been doing these events since 2019. 7 years, 2 events a year. That's over 15 events. You're like, well, 2 times 7, that's 14. They do Canada. They did New York. They've done Palm Springs. You guys got to get in the loop. This is not new. This is not new. Hall of Flowers. Brands with booths. Brands showcasing. Brands building out their space. There's tips and tricks to maximize that. I'm going to give you some of the game. There's tips and tricks for how your staff can go get sales. There's things you should do before, a month before. That means in a month from now, in February, you should be promoting. You're going to be at Hall of Flowers. Let the dispensaries that you try to sell to, let them know you're going to be at Hall of Flowers. You could save the gas and the distro fees of sampling out people and pre-booking meetings at Hall of Flowers. It's a real thing. This is real ways to maximize and optimize. How to improve, how to take advantage of it, how to get more out of it. I know it all. There's a lot of different ways to do it. You ain't got to do it my way, but I know what to do to have $100,000 days. We know what to do to get 5, 10, 20, 30 new stores. We know what to do. You got to be there first. You got to buy a ticket. You got to have products and samples, or you got to get a booth. Hall of Flowers has double wide booths. They got the 20 by 20s and the 40 by 40s. If you got the bread, stand out. Go talk to 100 plus retailers every day for 2 days. Go talk to 200 retailers every day for 2 days. It's a real thing. If your staff is actively talking to everybody that walks by, hey, come on in here, bro. Let me give you some free stuff. Hey, come on in here, ma'am. I'd love to get your card and give you some free stuff. Yo, you got to be ready. You got to be proactive. You're not going there to fish and letting the fish swim by. You got to go there and yell at those fish. Hey, yo, you're here. It's Hall of Flowers. Come by. I got free weed for you. I got samples for you. We want to earn your business. Who are you? What do you do? This is the time to shoot your shot. March, Ventura, don't miss it. Reach out to me or visit hallofflowers.com for more information. Tell them Respect My Region told you to buy your booth. Let them know. And Hall of Flowers also has a mixer coming up the night before. We used to host that mixer. I got to talk to their team this week, figure out how we're going to be a part of it. But also, too, folks, it's Respect My Region's 15-year anniversary. So we got to do something fly out there. We got to do something cool. We're going to be creative and figure that out. Celebrate. But, folks, this is where the real deals happens. Hall of Flowers coming up. Make sure y'all tap in, man. A lot of really cool stuff coming up. The exact dates, pulling up the website right now. March 18th and 19th, Ventura County Fairgrounds. If you're a media, you're an influencer, reach out, get involved. If you're a brand, get your freaking booth and sponsor the parties and stop tripping. Get your bread right. Get your bread right. Get a booth. You can't talk to this many buyers at one place for this price. Let's think of it like this. you can spend hella gas and get hotels, and you could go every month. You could, and every week and every day, 5 days a week, you can visit 5 stores. Times 20 days a month. That's 100. You can talk to 100 stores in 2 days. That's 30 days of work in 2 days. If you got 2 reps there, that means they can get another 100. You know what I'm saying? It is not that crazy, folks. You got to be about your business. And I'm using this tone because it's frustrating to hear people talk bad about Hall of Flowers like there still isn't 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 900 real retail staff people going there. There is. I personally spoke to, I don't know, 40, 50 people last year, and I didn't even fucking have a booth. So I'm tired of hearing the slack about Hall of Flowers. Stop talking smack. Go make moves, be proactive. Let's see you build the culture, keep building the community, invite your buyers. If you're a sales rep out there, you should be at Hall of Flowers, the parties. You should be encouraging people to go, reminding your bud tenders and your buyers and the owners you have strong with to go. Remind them to go and to sign up. Yo, you're going to be there. You got new products, new samples for them. Yo, you're going to be there. You want to make sure that they become aware of all the other good stuff. Yo, you got a party to come to. All of it, everything. I just kept you in the loop. The first night, before the actual trade show, March 17th, pregame mixer, Hall of Flowers official. I will be there. You know what I'm saying? Come through. I'm looking to meet dispensaries to interview and to write articles about. It's free content. You know me, you get free content. It's that easy. Hall of Flowers, be there. March 17, 18, 19. Let's go. Now, there's another fantastic event, folks. It's all the way across the country. It's in New York. New York. It's in New York. I can't do Rihanna. I can't sing. I'm losing my voice. Revelry, folks. They announced May 14th. Hudson, New York. They back. The Buyers Club. The festival. New York. There's over 500 dispensaries open in New York. Upstate, western upstate, middle upstate, the Finger Lakes, Syracuse, Buffalo, Niagara. You got all this shit over here by Pennsylvania. You get over here into New York, Long Island, 500. 500. Not YG 400, 500. NY 400, New York 500. Let's go. 500 dispensaries. Brands. Ton of brands in New York. Ton of great products. New York, passion. A lot of passion. A lot of great products. Genetics improving. Weed improving. Flower improving. There's also great weed there too. Don't sleep. You guys that say New York ain't got shit. They got some shit. They got some shit. Do they have as much shit? Is it as great or as good as other places? It's all subjective. It's all subjective. You want to be negative, be negative. But the reality is I'm here to be positive and supportive. They got some shit. They got some shit. Obviously, people that buy weed in the trap, the legacy, the black market, whatever you want to call it, those people feel like the weed is better like for them in those markets than they do in the legal stuff. I hear it here in Cali too. I hear it here in LA all the time. Oh, the weed in the weed in the retail is rapes you in prices and it's just overpriced mids. And it's like, bro, you're literally saying that about Connected Cannabis, who created Biscotti and Gelinade. You're saying that about Cookies, who created with their genetics partners, who created most of what people choose to sell if it has any candy to it at all. Any sweet, creamy gelato, runts stuff came from all those cats. Permanent Markers and Biscottis. It's all West Coast shit. It's all West Coast shit. And those breeders, Seed Junkie, Compound Genetics, Cookies, Sherbinski's, who created Sherbert, which is the gelatos and everything that we know and everything, most of those candy strains. It's all from here, guys. It's all in the rec markets. It's all in the rec. Cam, one of the most popular here in California. Is it the best? You decide. Bubba's Girl, that's their biggest, most popular, well known. That's their banger. I don't know anybody else pushing a Bubba Kush, I don't know anybody else pushing something like that. These guys got, not that THC isn't everything. They got terps and they got 30 plus percenters. Kush mints, bubble kush, shit's fire. Shit smacks. I don't even. So far, I don't even give a fuck about the look of the bag. I just know, oh, that shit came from them. It's fire. It's good enough every time. Never had a bad one. And that can only be said about so many brands, so many farms, so many growers. And I mean, frankly, if you're the legacy of the trap market, it's not that I'm not taking you serious, but I'm not. I'll buy your weed, but you don't get to be on these lists. You're not in the NBA, the NFL, which is doing business right. A lot of people can hoop, but can you be in the league? This is the league. This is the league. You can say whatever you want. Oh, but I move boxes. Oh, this and that. Yeah, but do you have to deal with taxes, accountants, HR, follow laws? Did you have your fucking fire department in your place 10 times? Did you have police have to come check out your thing and double check everything? Do you have a million cameras to protect your place legally? Not just the amount you want. This is different to succeeding in recreational adult use cannabis. It's different. It's different. It ain't the same. It's not the same. That's like trying to say, oh, yeah, man, I go to the men's league or the co-ed league, and I put up a triple-double every game, and we win ship after ship every year. Every season we're winning. Okay, cool. But do you have to deal with drug testing like the NBA? Do you have, or the NFL or the major leagues? What about steroids? What about making sure you can't or cannot take certain supplements or eat certain things that might be tainted? What about doctors? What about just your life having to be different because you're signed up for a profession versus just being the best hooper at your league? Those are just things to consider. It's different when you're actually in this legal, recreational, licensed, lab tested world and business. And in New York, they have great brands and great products that exist now. And I'm a big fan of that market. I'm a big fan that tourism and locals in New York, the millions and millions and millions of people that are there every day. And big shout out to the tens and tens and tens and maybe hundreds of thousands of people every day that buy weed across New York State. But y'all have a great industry out there. Y'all got a great community. The passion for New York bleeds and extends into everything cannabis. The pride you have, the passion for it, the bud tenders there, quality. Not everyone is fantastically perfect and knows everything, but they're so passionate about New York that you just got to hype up anything that you're stoked about, and I'm stoked for it because that's what I came in looking for is what's from New York, what's good, what you like it, and why. You know what I'm saying? You just got to tell me what you enjoyed about it and be able to smile and be passionate while you're doing it, and I'm going to believe you. It is pretty much that easy and simple for everybody. And New York's got a great market. There's 500 plus dispensaries, tons of brands. Revelry is going to bring all of those people together, the industry. Business, as they say on my podcast, big shout out to Lulu. Business is just going to get done because business gets done in New York. New Yorkers get shit done. You bring them together, smoking, hanging out, vibing, networking, and moves get made. Business just gets done. I like that. I'm here for it. I can't wait. I gotta get to my first one. And so any businesses out there in New York looking for Cribs episodes, looking for photos, videos, articles, podcasts, I'd love to pull up. We need a sponsor budget for that shit. Reach out, Joey at respectmyregion.com. Hit me in the comments. Hit me direct. Text me 206-488-3838, 206-488-3838. Hit me. We want to go to New York for Revelry. It's a big deal. I love New York, the market, as I've been saying. It's fantastic. It's going to be very exciting. New York remains one of the most watched cannabis markets in the world. And as you ask people around the industry, it's probably the only one in the United States that's still on the up and up and up and up and up. We'll see how that changes over the next year or two and three, but it seems to be growing and growing, and there's enough people for now to continue that pace. Folks, this is the Morning Joint Podcast. We got about 5 more minutes left. I appreciate you guys hanging out. This is the first 2026 episode. I will be doing this every single Monday, coming to you guys live from the Catalyst dispensary here in Hawthorne and and this is in their consumption lounge. Big shout out to their team for letting me come here and do this. Um, this is our music section, folks. Albums, tours, festivals, and artist news. New and upcoming albums up first. ASAP Rocky drops the Don't Be Dumb on January 16th. Be sure to save that on your Spotify, save that and pre-save it on your Apple Music and all places where you get your music. Featuring production from Pharrell, Metro Boomin, Madlib, and Mike Dean. Next, we've got Bad Bunny continues dominating the conversation after the Grammy nominations for his album, song, and record of the year. Obviously, the first Spanish language artist to do so. Super Bowl is literally next month. I know that people are beefing about Bad Bunny being the artist performing for the Super Bowl, but if you can remember, we had Shakira, Jennifer Lopez, and they brought on Bad Bunny on stage already a number of years ago. So this is not that crazy. We anticipate him performing a set list entirely in Spanish. Maybe he speaks English just a little bit, but for the most part, we anticipate a full set list of Spanish. And I'll be honest, folks, if you guys go on my Spotify right now, the album was my most played songs of the year. Nueva Yol, Baile Invol Diable, I believe is how it says. I probably just butchered that. But point is those two tracks were my most played. Another 4 tracks on the album were also in my top 10, maybe top 15. My usual Nipsey and Larry June and that stuff on there as well. And it realistically, it just makes sense. He's the biggest artist in the world. You could probably get by next year or the year after that with, some of these Morgan Wallens and Luke Combs types and all the country guys or whatever. But I think what you'll see is when that happens, I think you'll see a lot of the sports fans just frankly just turn it off and in a bigger capacity. I've been quoting this statistic and paraphrasing it for years. 60+% of music revenue across the world, tours and concerts, all comes from rap and hip hop. And there's a reason why Jay-Z is the guy controlling the Super Bowl stuff with the NFL. So I think it makes a lot of sense just based on views and numbers and math, no matter what the country folks or the pop or the rock folks try to say. Maybe you could get a couple of those artists on stage and it'll be a bigger deal. But for right now, I don't know. Upcoming tours and upcoming album releases: Madison Beer, January 23rd, Louis Tomlinson, January 30th, Nick Jonas, February 6th. All of them have new projects coming out. In the world of artist news, BTS confirmed a 2026 comeback with a 14-track album and world tour. Liam Gallagher is back in the studio with John Squire. Morrissey canceled their early January shows due to health issues. Pop artist Ray performed incognito at Wildlands Festival in Australia. And we've got also 2 coming up: Lady Gaga's Mayhem Ball Tour, Rosalia's Lux Tour with 42 arena dates. We also have The Weeknd, Ariana Grande, Ed Sheeran, and Metallica all coming up on tours and festivals this year, with EDC Las Vegas coming up, Beyond Wonderland at the Gorge scheduled again, Oceaga, all of those things going to hit full force this year. Electric Zoo, Suwannee in Florida. I know South by Southwest is going to be going again. Music and culture drive the internet. We see music in sports. We see music in film. We see all music everywhere now. Thanks to technology, it's even more accessible and easier than ever to create great products. There are AI artists that exist now getting signed to record deals. I spoke recently to somebody on Threads that produced a lot of the content themselves, but the music was all AI and the voice, which was incredible because it was like a blend of Demi Lovato and a couple other artists. I could literally hear moments where I could hear different people. It was insane. But the point is, folks, is there's a lot going on in the world, and we hope that you guys all stay safe. Be sure to stay positive. If there's anything going on in your ecosystem that you need to talk about, you can always reach out. You got a safe space with us, and we're always happy to help connect you to any form of resources or help. Today is the very first 2026 edition of the Morning Joint podcast. That's where we're at today. Morning Joint provided by Maven Genetics and Nameless Genetics. Big shout out to those groups. To give you the quick rundown again, the Raiders are at a crossroads firing Pete Carroll. Today's Black Monday in the NFL with a bunch of head coaches and other staff getting fired. The NBA is gearing up for a massive All-Star weekend a month from now in Los Angeles. We've got the World Cup coming up here in June and July. Cannabis, hemp, the cannabis rescheduling, the change of THC, and then of course there's a lot of movement going on in the world of music. If you guys have any questions, be free to reach out. This is the Morning Joint, where we give you guys the real deal content, not just that noise. I'm Joey J. Ping. To all my Raiders fans out there, Raider Nation in the house, to all my P and Dub in the building, man, respect my region. We do this for y'all. Big shout out to local culture everywhere, every entrepreneur, every business owner, every motherfucking person, grower, breeder, producer, music maker, mixer, master, the singers, the rappers, the bands, anybody trying to live their dream. We do this for y'all. We'll see you guys next Monday. I love you guys. Peace.